Well, now that we've set a gorgeous harvest table, we need to have the freshest ingredients for the feast.
One of the biggest trends in outdoor living is growing vegetables in your backyard. So today, I wanted to show you my vegetable garden in my backyard. Here it is. Now, all of these beds are raised planters. The reason we did that is we only had about 1.5 feet of good topsoil in this location. So by raising the beds, I can control exactly the type of soil we use in the space. And in this case, we went with triple mix. And as you can see, everybody seems to be happy. Now, all of these plants are being grown from heirloom variety seeds, which means they've been around for more than 50 years. And as you can see, they grow really, really well. And the reason we did that is we wanted to add more flavors into our diet. So to protect our vegetable gardens, we also added a fence. Now this fence has chicken wire that's buried under the ground. That stops all the rabbits from digging under and all of the deer from jumping over. This is one of my favorite backyard tricks for growing corn in your own space. Now raccoons love a good corn stalk, but what they do is they knock the stalk down to get at the corn cobs. So what I've done is I've put in these fences. This way, as the corn grows taller, I can tie the stalks directly to the fence and stop the raccoons. Come here. Hi, gorgeous. Yes, I know. So my little girls have all grown up. The reason I wanted chickens in the vegetable garden is these are the best at controlling the bugs. In fact, all of my chickens do double duty. I get eggs and I get a safe and natural insecticidal system. Now you're probably wondering why my potato plants are almost 6 feet tall. This is the best way to grow a lot of potatoes in a very small space. And here's how you do it. You're gonna start your potatoes, your little spuds, down at the bottom level. And then every week you're gonna add another row of boards. And with each row of boards, you add more soil. Believe it or not, these are the original potato plants I planted only 4 weeks ago. And this is how tall they've gotten. At the end of the season, each one of these planters is going to produce up to 400 pounds of potatoes. That means right here is 800 pounds of potatoes. Clearly more than I'm ever going to consume. So what we're doing is we're actually growing almost all of these vegetables for our family, but also for several families in the community. We're growing it forward.
I saw my sweet little chickens, Carson Arthur. I've missed you. It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Well, now I know what you've been doing. That's a real garden.
That is a big garden, and I went big, and everybody kept saying to me, you know, you've gone overboard. I'm like, no, this is gonna be good. It's gonna be fun.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of garden, but I love every single minute of it. And if you love the job, it's not work, it's a hobby, right?
That's true.
So the one thing that everybody said to me though is you're gonna have so much food. What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah.
So I had some options. A lot of communities are now collecting fresh food for families in need.
Nice.
So I donated a lot of the food. The Fresh for All campaign is one that I'm part of. Love that campaign. So you know, the extra food that I have going to people who really need it and maybe can't afford to buy it.
Yeah.
The other thing that I started to do this year is preserving.
You're doing the canning, the preserving. Good for you.
I have become the hipster. I didn't even know. I don't have any of the other accoutrements, but I have become a hipster.
You are
I
a hipster.
love canning, preserving everything that I've been growing.
I love it.
So I'm going to show you some easy techniques that anybody can do with some of the extra food that maybe they've been growing in their garden or on their patio planters.
Beautiful.
Okay, so let's start with drying herbs.
Yes.
It sounds really easy, but there are actually techniques that are going to work better for you.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
This is some parsley that I actually had in my garden this morning. I cut it out. Okay. What you're going to do with your parsley is you want to make sure you're hanging everything upside down.
Yeah.
All the nutrients now will go into the leaves instead of this way where everything will drip out of the bottom.
Okay.
So you're going to hang it upside down and you're going to tie it. And you're going to take some simple twine and you're just going to wrap.
All the way around?
Yeah, just keep going. And what you want to do is you want to give it a good, nice, tight grip on it. Yeah, so nothing's going to leak out. Because what happens when herbs are drying, they get smaller. And they tend to fall out because they thin out. So now you're going to hang this in the garage or in the basement. You want
somewhere
it
dark,
dry, and cool.
Okay.
Okay? And that's very important for a couple of different reasons. Herbs, because they are fresh, have fungus growing on them already.
Okay.
Okay? If you don't put them in a dry space, that fungus will just take over and destroy all of your herbs, and they just won't have the same flavor. Dark and dry, you don't want to lose the chlorophyll in the leaves. That adds a lot of the flavor. Have you seen some herbs where they're kind of black and they just don't look as exciting?
Yeah.
They don't have as much flavor either.
Got
okay?
it.
So that's parsley. I did thyme the exact same way, and this is one that I dried about a month ago in my garage upside down. Now this is oregano, and what you're going to do is as you go to use it, you can really just do this. And I'm going to do it right here on the table. You can see that all coming off. Fresh oregano, no preservatives, grown in my garden, ready for the pasta sauce.
Smells amazing.
Isn't that fantastic?
And totally fresh and all out of your garden.
And no preservatives, no nothing. In the jars, you often will get a preservative because they want to keep it as
Preserve it.
fresh and as green as possible,
Right.
especially if it's sitting on the shelves in the grocery store in the sunlight. All right, so that's drying herbs, simple and easy.
Beautiful.
Now, I've got another simple one for you because I know
Okay.
everybody really is intimidated by canning.
Yes.
Doesn't have to be that way.
Okay.
My favorite recipe, you're gonna take 1 cup of water, 1 cup of vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of pickling salt.
All right.
That's it.
And that's it. That's all
it.
you need.
That's all you need. When people talk about pickling, they think, oh, it's dill and it's all these other spices. The truth is, it's salty vinegar water that preserves everything.
Okay.
Anything else you
That's
add
all you
to
need,
it, that's all
really.
you need. Anything else that you add to it is flavoring.
Right.
Okay. And you can add things like a bay leaf,
Right.
a hot
Yeah.
pepper, you know,
Give it some zing.
dill, garlic, mustard seed. You're starting to see people using garam masala, turmeric, fantastic flavoring. It adds flavor that you want for your family.
Right.
But you don't have to do it.
It's,
right?
If you want that extra, it's all up to you. And
Exactly.
so what is this in here?
So this is a cabbage. I turned a cabbage into
amazing.
sauerkraut using water, vinegar, salt. That's it.
Now,
Done.
the specific, though, is just in the sanitization of the jars and everything. You have to make sure that you're also making sure it's airtight.
Well, and that's funny. This part doesn't have to be airtight. That can just come on and off.
Okay.
It's the lid
It's this
inside.
part.
Exactly. And I'll show that to the camera.
Yeah.
This is the part that has to be sealed on. So you're right. You have to boil your jars. You have to sanitize them
Yeah.
because, again, you don't want the fungus growing in your can. Then you boil it again to create heat inside. The heat creates a vacuum, seals the jar on tight.
How long did it take you to make that? Your
Less
sauerkraut?
than an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
It went from a fresh cabbage to that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
I did a fermenting process. Now, when you're talking about vegetables, you know, there's a lot of vegetables that you can use out there.
Yes.
Cucumbers, radishes, celery, carrots, green beans, anything you want that can be eaten raw. One thing that I'm trying this year that I got a little tip on, potatoes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Now,
Pickling them?
if you pickle a potato and you soak the potato in your brine, pickle it, when you go to fry it, it tastes like a salt and vinegar potato chip. Yay! How
Try it.
awesome is that? Exactly. So, have fun with it. Use the leftover vegetables. Don't be intimidated by it. It's going to taste amazing all year long.
You're doing a beautiful thing, hipster Carson.